We're here. Time for a live stream. Whoa, shoot. Okay, what's going on up here? Massage the hair a bit. Excuse me. For a link in the comments. If you're new to streaming or looking to level up, check out StreamYard and get a $10 discount. Clearly, I haven't paid for it. I still got the stupid thing up in the upper right corner. Give me 1 second. Yo, in the chat, Reverse Lane. All right, what's up, Reverse Lane? I do gotta apologize. My Twitch account got hacked, and he goes live on Twitch. And just in case the account ever said anything, because I have other friends that stream on Twitch, and apparently I said some really political things and really bad things, and so I don't even have Twitch on my phone right now. Didn't even do that. So my apologies if I said anything to you. I'm just gonna make sure I'm live real quick. Yep, I'm live. I'm working good. We're all good. Today we are ranking all of the Marvel. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's okay. I said I wanted to grab your chunky body. That's crazy. It's probably some African dude. Something. One of them scammers. I don't know. I don't even know how I got hacked. All I know is I got a message saying, why am I being all political? And I'm like, I'm not. I don't even have Twitch on my phone. So I assume I got hacked. But anyways, we are ranking every Marvel Disney Plus show and special. This includes the live action shows, the animated shows, and the two specials we got that are the Guardians Holiday Special and Werewolf by Night. And so that's what we are doing today. Let me actually real quick. Go on my phone. Sorry. Texting someone back. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to go on my phone, copy that, share it to share the stream to Twitter and stuff so people could watch it. Oops. Boop. Okay. All right. Now we can lock in to today's live stream, ranking those. But first off, I always go on Letterboxd, talk about what I've been watching, what's going on. I also go to my YouTube channel, see what videos I've been putting out, kind of doing a recap recently. All right, let's start with this, shall we? I'm a little off topic already. I got to get locked in. We're locked in, baby. We're locked in, buddy. Excuse me. Recently, since my last live stream, which I don't even know why I'm using that. I have a mouse. There we go. Was 6 days ago. In 6 days, I did the Wonder Man review. That was out yesterday. Go check that out. I love the show. We'll also be talking about that here on the live. I did this. It's just a TikTok that I put on the channel. I reviewed The Incredible Hulk. I reviewed Send Help. I did 4 videos since the last tier ranking live stream that we did on the channel. Thank you for the congrats on 200 subs. I know it's not much, but we are growing, and I appreciate everyone who subscribes and watches these videos. I appreciate everyone. So that's what I've been doing on YouTube. I also haven't done much shorts. I saw Shelter the other day, the new Jason Statham movie. It's not good. Did I put this one out in that time? Yeah, the send help out of theater. Who's a comment? Oh, that's right. Send help out of theater reaction. I put out a couple shorts. So that's what I've been doing. If you haven't checked out those videos, go check out those videos. Road to 1K. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On Letterboxd, what have I been watching? When was the last stream? It was 6 days ago. So last Friday. Okay, so I only saw 3 things. I only saw 2 movies. I've been really busy with work and stuff. I saw Send Help, which was, if you haven't seen my review, you definitely should go watch my review, but it was okay. I gave it 3.5 stars. It had a lot of good things, but the ending quite pissed me off. I saw Shelter. I gave it 2.5 stars. Yeah, people talked at full volume right behind us the entire movie. It was better than I thought it would be, if I'm being honest. It was. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't very good. It was better than I thought it would be, but it's still a Jason Statham action movie. So there's that. And then I gave Wonder Man 4.5 stars. I think Wonder Man is absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, that's what I've been watching. Go follow my Letterboxd. Zach D Films YT. Shave head at 1K? I don't think so. I don't think so, buddy. I don't really want to shave my head. There's that, and there's just the fact that I like my hair. As crazy it is. I do need a haircut, though. I do need a haircut. I got a lot of people telling me that all the time. All right, let's look at the tier lists. The lists of the tiers. Our tiers today are super at the top, great, good, mid/bad, and then abysmal dog. I'm actually going to put abysmal in front of that. Abysmal. Whoop. Abysmal dog shit, because that is exactly what some of these are. It's just straight abysmal dog shit. But that is a look at the tiers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 projects to discuss. So we best dive into it. If you guys got any questions or anything, make sure to tell me. I will answer any questions, movie, TV show, sports related. Drink the water. And here we go. Let's dive right in. Let's start out. We're going to go in release order. We could go like all this order, but we're going to go in release order. Starting with WandaVision. I actually probably should put this in order real quick. I'm going to do that. Talking about Soldier, Loki. I didn't know I could do that until just a second. What comes after Loki? Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel. Where are you at? Where's Miss Marvel? Oh no, I didn't include Miss Marvel on here. Well, gosh darn it. Okay. I know that I put the poster out. Did I just not? I know I downloaded the poster. I thought. Okay, apparently I didn't. All right. Apparently we're gonna do that real quick. Forgot to put Miss Marvel. That's okay. You'll find out where I put this show, anyways. No, that's not it. That's not what I want to do. Is there really no good posters for the show? I'm trying to find a good poster, and they're all just pretty bad. Oh, there it is. There's the one I was looking for. That's a good poster. I like that poster right there. You'll see it in a minute. Let's go over to edit. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's not what I want to do. Add additional images. All right. It's probably an unknown JPEG. Let's see what images I got. Where are you, Miss Marvel? No, it's download JPEG is what it is. So it starts with D. There we go. All right. That little side quest is done. And now we got to read. Now we got to redo the order. Oh, that's just wonderful. That's just wonderful. Okay, we start with WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki Season 1, Hawkeye, Moon Knight. Come on, get in there, stupid thing. Miss Marvel. What was after Miss Marvel? I think Werewolf by Night was somewhere around there. Let's also put What If right there, and we'll put Guardians right there as well. She-Hulk was also... Put She-Hulk right there. That was 2022. What came out in 2023? 2023 was it's not going to be precise order. This is as much as I can remember the release date. Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, and then we go Echo, X-Men 97, Agatha, I think it was Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Daredevil Born Again, Ironheart, Marvel Zombies, and Wonder Man. There we go. That got the order. Lane says Pats or Seahawks. Everybody that I know is saying Seahawks are going to kill them. And that's kind of what the general consensus is. But I'm actually going for the Patriots. I think that they are going to get the win. I think they're going to prove to everybody, oh, they have a weak schedule. Too bad. They're going to win the Super Bowl. And I guarantee that they will. I'm going Pats. I even put money on it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we start, I got one more text message. All right, let's start with WandaVision. WandaVision. I don't know why I'm singing. I'm sorry. It's super cringe. So I remember when WandaVision first came out, and my parents went out of town, and this was 5 years ago. So I was 15. We watched all the shows together. Me, my mom, my dad, my brother. We watched all of the shows together. And I remember that I had to wait 2 days because they were out of town to even start the show. I was dying. And I think that it's a good thing that they release the episodes 1 week, doing the week by week basis. But I do think if you watch it like that, it'll kind of get boring and you'll kind of be like, give us a little bit more each episode. When I rewatched the show, I liked it a lot more than I did the first time. I would put it on the good tier the first time I watched it. I rewatched it, and it kind of took me back to the days where we were all having that discussion. And I got to the reveals much faster, so it was a much smoother watch. But also, it also has some great horror elements. I always have loved the direction that they take Scarlet Witch's character. The only thing that's bad about it is the finale obviously just turns into a big mess CGI battle. That's something you'll see with a lot of these. However, WandaVision has too many good things to not put on the great tier. I just think watching it at this day and age, seeing all the crap Marvel's put out, it is one of the best MCU television shows. I feel like I'm actually going to edit something real quick. My apologies. I am going to add another tier. This is going to be bad because a lot of Marvel shows have mid and then they have bad. Abysmal dog shit. Okay. There we go. And it messed with the order again. Isn't that it didn't even edit the thing. This is dumb. This is actually getting on my nerves a little bit here. Show extra rows. I think I have to. Do I have to refresh it? Okay. All right. Whatever. It's being dumb. Lane says W pick. Same. Go Pats. I hate the Patriots. I'm just going to be honest. I love Drake May. I've loved him since college, so I'm rooting for them. And my brother's here. He said, we here, boy. We've been live for 16 minutes and I've talked about one show. It's been a disaster so far. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. When it first came out, I watched it and I absolutely loved it. I was like, this is awesome. Why are people hating on this? And then I got older and my brain kind of grew more mature and I watched it. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. This is why people watch this. I wouldn't say on the abysmal dog shit. I would say mid bad. That's kind of why I wanted to add a bad, because I wouldn't even say it's mid. I would say it's bad. It's just a bad show. Everybody's a whiner. You got Sam whining because I gave the shield to the military and they did something bad with it. You got Bucky whining because Sam gave the shield to the military like an idiot. You got John Walker. Oh my gosh, I don't have the super soldier serum. You got the villains. I lost my house because everybody came back to life. Everybody is a whiner. Now, let's be honest here. I do love John Walker. Love that character, and I love him in Thunderbolts. I even thought the villain was like, there's an interesting idea there, being mad and lashing out at the world, because Thanos was kind of right in a sense, where everything starts to get better for these people, and all of a sudden they come back and their life is back in the dumps. But everybody's such a whiner. The script is boring. There are some few decent action sequences, but that's what saves it from being in this bottom tier. It's just a bad show that should be so much better than it actually is. I just found out one of my friends got in a car accident. All right. Sorry about that. One of my friends just got in a car accident. So, Reverse Lane says WWW John Walker. I agree. We got where you are, Loki season 1. Rewatching Loki season 1 before Loki season 2 was like, this show is really good. It introduces us to the TVA. It introduces us into time travel, the multiverse, all that. But the show at the core is kind of making Loki be a character that we love. Obviously, we've always loved the character. He progresses throughout the entire MCU, but he gets so much better in the show because we're about Loki after Avengers. This is still evil Loki, and you have so much emotion. You care about this character. Sylvie is in here, and she's a really good character that I quite like. So this is a show that has the most interesting stuff, even stuff with Kang. The finale is not a big action set piece. The finale is a conversation between Loki and Kang. The tensions are high. I honestly wish the MCU kept in the direction with Kang, because he's awesome. I love Kang and I love Jonathan Majors, but of course, what happened with Jonathan Majors going to jail and all, he should have definitely, I mean, if he didn't do that, we would have had an awesome villain, because Kang was awesome. His performance was awesome, but we don't have that. And I don't care that Quantumania was terrible, because Loki is good. Loki is better than good. Loki goes, not super. It's not good enough to be super, I think, but it's going to the top of the great tier above WandaVision. Sorry, I keep checking my phone, but I'm just making sure. All right. After that, we got Hawkeye. And I'm not going to lie, out of all of these shows, this is like the only one that I've never revisited. I've always wanted to. A show set in the Christmas time. You got Hawkeye. You got Kate Bishop in here. You even got Yelena showing up there. But I never revisited it. I don't know if I could say that's a negative. I think it's more of just a thing that I haven't had time to, but I know I had a really good time with it. Again, set in the Christmas vibe. You got all these characters. Haley Steinfeld's in there. You got Yelena in here, Florence Pugh. They have great chemistry when they're on screen. Awesome action. And then obviously you got to talk about the addition of Kingpin, kind of getting the Daredevil stuff into our modern day MCU, which is a lot of fun. So there's a lot of cool action, a lot of cool characters, and it's a nice overall Christmas vibe. However, there's not really much I can say, because this is the only one I haven't ever checked out again. again, that's more of a fault for me, but I'm going to go in good. It's going to be high up on the good, but I'm going to go in good. After that, we enter the year of 2022 with Moon Knight, and this is where I'm actually going to do this. I'm actually going to, how do I do this real quick? How do I add a tier? Yeah, they're okay. He's okay. I'm trying to figure out, I really want to add a tier because, like, there's some shows I want to put mid, but I don't want next to freaking Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? How do I do this? Because it won't add an extra tier. What's that do? Oh, add a row below. Okay, there we go. That was easy. Oh, wait, that's not good. That's mid, bad, and this one is my favorite. Abysmal, dog shit. Move that down there, and we are all good. All right, Moon Knight, I kind of spoiled it. It goes in mid. I didn't want it to be on the same tier as Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but Moon Knight does go in mid. This is a show where the first 2 episodes are great, kind of introducing us to the character, the way he acts, the kind of mythological stuff with the Egyptian lore and all that. That was all really cool. Has some intense sequences, has some good action sequences. Ethan Hawke is great in there. And then you get the 2 middle episodes, and they're kind of a slog. We're exploring Egyptian pyramids, and we're talking and trying to form a romance that we don't really care about. And then you get episode 5, which is amazing. I mean, yeah, it's an amazing episode where we're kind of exploring this character and the trauma and the sadness and the weight of all the things that are on this character. And it is so emotional. It's an episode that made me cry. And so that was like, oh, I'm not liking the show, but now I'm loving it. And then the finale is giant god monsters punching each other like there is in almost all of these shows. But it's entertaining enough. Those middle 2 episodes were terrible, though. Like, so boring. And this could easily, like, if you get those episodes on track, this is going in the great tier. But instead, it goes on the mid. I do love the chemistry that Oscar Isaac has with himself. He's a phenomenal actor. Ethan Hawke, love that he's in the MCU. He plays a great villain in here. And the plot twist at the end where there's a third personality, why haven't we expanded on that? Why haven't we gotten a season 2 of Moon Knight yet? That is what I want. Like, as much as it's going in mid, it's a show that season 2 would be phenomenal and be something I'm really hyping up. But unfortunately for season 1, it's very mid because of those 2 episodes were terrible. We got our first edition into Abysmal Dog Shit with Miss Marvel. It's really bad. Moon Knight is underrated. I somewhat agree with you. I wouldn't say the term underrated. I'd say probably perfectly rated. A lot of people were disappointed with it like me, but a lot of people also were like, there's a lot of potential here to be good. It goes on mid. However, Miss Marvel does not. Now, you're going to see here that a lot of the female characters are going to be on the lower tiers. And I get people telling me all the time that I'm sexist. You're sexist. You are the devil. You do not like the women-led shows. Well, the thing is, I don't like the women-led shows. I even have a video out on my channel. Let me go find that video. It was taken from a live stream. I did a live stream like this, but this one was taken from a live stream. Excuse me. Let's find this video. Ironheart is awful and why female-led MCU projects suck. You should go watch that video. It's a good video. But the reason for that is the writing is terrible in these. And that is the problem here. Miss Marvel in the comics is one of my favorite comic characters of this day and age. I love her. And I love Iman Vellani. She is phenomenal in this role. You watch the Marvels and you're like, yeah, she's great. But this show is terrible. Because instead of being like the street level superhero that Miss Marvel is, they decided to take her off on a big journey to go fight the bad guys and save the world. But you don't feel any of the weight because that plot's already over by episode 5. Yeah, in episode 5, she stops the bad guys. The bad guys kill themselves to save the world. That's fun. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, no, they're dead. Let's go get pizza. They go back. And then the finale is quite good because that's what I wanted throughout the entire show. But throughout the entire show, we're going across the entire world on an adventure. We're going to, we're going in time. We're going back in time. That's something that happened in the show, I'm pretty sure. And so Iman Vellani's performance couldn't save it because it's just a show that's like, this could be awesome. This should be super. At the very least, it should be great, but it's abysmal dog shit. Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother, for saying that. I'm not sexist. I'm not. I think after that, let's go ahead and do What If. This is the one that's going on mid, but it's going at the very bottom. In fact, I'm thinking of putting it on bad. Let me talk about it first. What If, and I've only included season, like just the entire show, not individual seasons, because I haven't watched a full season. And I know you might be like, oh my goodness, you haven't watched it, you can't talk about it, because I am one of the people that's like mad at Grace Randolph for what she's doing for not watching the movie before she gave it a score. That's the difference. I'm not a Rotten Tomatoes approved critic, and this is a TV show that I didn't really need to waste my time because it seems like there's a lot of interesting ideas. You go on Twitter, you go on the internet, and you're like, oh, yeah, there's some interesting ideas that they could adapt into the show. And what they do is be like, oh, yeah, what if Tony Stark went to the battle world? Or what if Howard the Duck and Darcy get into a relationship? What if T'Challa was Star-Lord? Who is thinking of these things? A couple of them are interesting. The zombies one is awesome. We'll talk about zombies here in a minute. But like the show itself is like there's no good interesting ideas. The episodes are paced weirdly. The overall animation is really good, but there's nothing to ever pique my interest. And I'm always like, oh, another What If episode's out. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it or not because it's just not really my thing. I'm gonna go at the bottom of. I'm actually gonna go at the top of bad because like if it's easy to make this show great, but again. It's another show that's not utilized well. She-Hulk time. Yay. This one should be fun. Actually, no, it's Werewolf by Night time. We get to put off She-Hulk for just a minute. Remember, guys, if you got any questions in the comments to send them through, I'll be answering them. Excuse me. Werewolf by Night. This is a show, or this was a special presentation, anyways, that it's going on mid. It's the definition of mid. It could be something really interesting, kind of Halloween vibes in black and white, has a lot of Carnage horror candy in there. But, like, you watch it, and I think it's like 45 minutes long. And so you're setting up the big hunting game, swamp thing, the finale. You're setting all that up, and it's 45 minutes. So it doesn't have, excuse me, it doesn't have time to flesh out the characters or just kind of, what was I trying to say there? My brain just died right there. It doesn't have time to flesh out the characters or flesh out the stakes because you're like, okay, it's interesting. It's an interesting idea. This would be really good if like a 2-3 episode miniseries. However, we got one 45-minute pretty much episode that's like, okay, I watched that. That's something I watched. It's okay. Like, it was fun while it was watching, but it left no impact. And so it goes in mid. It's the definition of mid, in my opinion. It's a neat idea, not really executed that well. And now we talk about everyone's favorite She-Hulk. Yay. This actually would be a show that goes in the bottom of good for me until the finale. I actually quite liked a lot of things they were doing. There were some funny moments. It's nice to see Abomination and Wong in there. Wong was really funny in here. Daredevil, obviously, he's in there, and it's really fun to see him. Titania, I think is her name. She was quite fun in there. There was a pretty fun show. seeing all these characters, seeing She-Hulk interact, breaking the fourth wall, which was cool. But then they pushed it too far. A show that's like, yeah, it's good, go in the bottom of the good tier, ends up being like, oh, that's really bad. That's actually pretty awful. Because what they do in the finale is she breaks the fourth wall so much, she jumps through Disney Plus and talks to Kevin Feige. If you don't know who Kevin Feige is, well, he's the guy that is the manager of Marvel Studios. Yeah, they break it that much. This is like an official canon thing inside the MCU. She-Hulk can just do that. What's the point of Avengers Doomsday? Just put her in the movie. She'll just break it all. Because she had a fight coming. She's like, I don't want to do that. Kevin, let's not do that. And that's what they did. Just do that to Doomsday and you stop Doom instantly. It's stupid. And it just ruined the entire show. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So I want to go mid, but that just ruins it so much. And like, that's the only thing I think about. I don't think about the things that were kind of fun in the show. I think about the terrible things. And so She-Hulk goes in the bad tier. And it's not fun to talk about either. On Twitter, I get in fights with people like all the time because they're like, She-Hulk was actually a masterpiece and Deadpool and Wolverine breaks the fourth wall inside the MCU. Well, here's the thing. Deadpool is a character that can do that. Deadpool is a character from another universe who goes into this universe and still does it. She-Hulk is inside of this universe related to a character who can't do that and just breaks the whole universe. Meanwhile, Deadpool and Wolverine isn't really a big canon film or inside the MCU. Like, it doesn't really have that many stakes in there. That's just a film to be fun and really watchable. And just kind of show the world into the TVA and the void and all that. This show was just like, we can do whatever we want. Screw you. It just leaves a sour taste in the mouth. And yes, Jacob, she did start twerking. She threw it back with Megan Thee Stallion in one episode. And that's another thing, too. That's something that's incredibly funny. Because I got an argument with somebody on Twitter because this person's like, oh, so Deadpool can dance and kill people and dance. But She-Hulk starts twerking. She-Hulk twerking is so much funnier than the bye-bye-bye dance. I'm like, are you freaking stupid? Like, yeah, you can have your opinion, but like, no. Twerking is fine, but like the bye-bye-bye dance was something that was really fresh and original. Meanwhile, you're just in a post-credit scene. Get it down, Megan Thee Stallion. Go girl. Oh, yeah. Oh. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's frustrating. I'm officially frustrated now. What's next? I think it's Guardians Holiday Special. It goes in super. Unlike Werewolf by Night, we can get a 45-minute special presentation of the Guardians of the Galaxy because these are characters we love. These are characters we already know. We don't have to introduce us to the world or the characters. These are characters we already know and love. And so when you get a little Christmas journey like this, it's so much fun. You got Mantis and Drax going to Earth to pick up Kevin Bacon and introduce him to Star-Lord. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of heart. Mantis, Drax have great chemistry and they are hilarious. And it's got a lot of emotions in here. It's right after Guardians 2 where Peter just killed his dad. And so they're at the bleakest point inside the MCU. Actually, no, that's not even. What am I talking about? It's after Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, where Gamora's gone, and Peter loved Gamora, and Gamora's dead. That's why they're so sad. So, kind of with these characters that are at the lowest point in their lives, I mean, and going on a fun Christmas adventure that's funny, heartwarming, is something I turn on every single Christmas now. I have something on the computer screen. Sorry. I turn it on every single Christmas, and I love it each time. It goes in super. And I know what you're thinking. You're putting a special presentation in super over all these? Yes, I am. So sue me. What was after that? That was 2022. 2023 was Secret Invasion, I think. Let me take a drink real quick. Excuse me. Checking the comments. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. I didn't think you guys wanted to see that. Secret Invasion, a show. Well, my voice just died there. A show that everybody hates. Everybody puts it in the abysmal dog shit tier, except me. Except me. I'm going to put it up in good. I'm getting notifications because the Winter Olympics started today. It's weird. Anyways, I'm going to put it up in the good tier. I thought that this one had enough, after a terrible 2022, I thought this one had enough nostalgia, as in where me and my friend group are all just constantly talking about the show, having our theories, who's going to die, who's a Skrull and all that, that it just brought me back to like the WandaVision era, where it's like, you know what? These shows are actually good, and they are a good conversation starter, and you can continue a conversation on that. And I was compelled. I was compelled by the mystery. I like Nick Fury. I like what they did. Obviously, it should be an Avengers movie, but it's not. And so I'm not going to sit there and complain that it's not an Avengers movie when we got what we got, and that's what we're getting. I just enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed the mystery. I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed all that. I even thought like the death of Talos was done really well. Thought the villain was pretty cool as well. Again, I actually haven't rewatched the show since 2023. The only two shows I haven't rewatched are on the good tier. But I think it might be a show that if I rewatch, it'll probably be like Falcon and Winter Soldier. But now, after my one viewing, I like the show. I was entertained. The only thing that's holding it back from like great is the finale, of course, because we get like the Super Skrull stuff where they find bloodstreams of all the heroes on that were fighting Thanos in Endgame on that battlefield, and they just inject two Skrulls with it, and they're having a big CGI battle where it looks just awful, and apparently a random Skrull is now the most powerful character in the MCU. That was bad. Rhodey being a Skrull since before Endgame, that was bad because, you know, now he thinks Tony's still alive. So now you watch Endgame and you're like, that's not even the Rhodey we know. All right. That was bad, but that all comes in the finale. I enjoyed the ride enough. I'm going in good. I think X-Men 97 and then Loki are the next two. X-Men 97, let's start with that. I loved X-Men 97. I watched a few seasons of the original X-Men, the animated series, and I thought it was fun. I thought it was just some fun adventures with characters, X-Men characters that we love. And I wasn't expecting much from this. Marvel animation with What If, not very good. And I watched it. I'm like, this is great. This is amazing. This is super. And it is my favorite MCU show. It's not even really in the MCU. It's just kind of like an animated Elseworlds thing. Not Elseworlds. That's DC's thing. But you know what I'm talking about. It's great. For the first couple of episodes, you're just having a fun time with the characters. They're fighting villains. You like the characters. You have some emotional stakes in there. But then you get to, I think, episode 4, where like it cranks up the stakes to 11. You feel the victories with these X-Men, with these characters. You feel the victories. And all of a sudden, it's stripped away by the Sentinels. And there's this big fight. You get sacrificed by Remy, who is Gambit, one of my favorite X-Men characters. And it's just like, this is peak. This is excellent storytelling. And then you go throughout the entire season. Rogue is doing her thing. The rest of the X-Men are doing their things. You get little cameos from Spider-Man, Captain America in here sometimes. But it's a show that has stakes. You love the characters. You feel the death and the impact of it. And it's just X-Men stuff that is just done so perfectly well that it goes in the super tier. And I still think about episode 4 all the time. The way that my jaw was on the floor throughout that entire episode. It goes in super. It's so far my favorite one. Loki season 2. It's great. I think I'll go behind WandaVision here in the great tier. I think I like WandaVision a little bit more. Loki season 2 is the slowest season of television until we get to Wonder Man. It's the slowest one. Excuse me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it being incredibly slow because it's a show that focuses on the characters. We're focusing on the characters. Season 1 has quite a bit of action. That's actually better here. It has quite a bit of action, but again, we focus on the characters. This one cranks it up to 11, We get stakes. You genuinely leave the multiverse and all of time is about to collapse. So you get those and you're on the edge of your seat throughout the entire runtime of the show because you genuinely think bad things are going to happen. You get the character sacrifice of Loki being the guy who's holding this all together, becoming selfless, becoming the man that he knows he can be. You get the final conversation between him and Mobius, which is just endlessly emotional. I think it's the best looking season of television just by a cinematography standpoint. It looks great. The score is phenomenal. It feels like an A24 project. I mean that in the best way. It doesn't feel like the MCU. It feels like a project that has one eccentric goal. It gets to that goal. They care about the characters. You have all the emotions. You have all of that. And it's phenomenal. It's great. I think that I enjoy watching Loki season 1 over season 2. I think I like season 1 a little bit better. But like the on a storytelling aspect, Loki season 2 is just probably the best one out of all of these. But overall, in enjoyment level, I enjoyed these two a little bit better. After that, I think Echo was before Agatha all along. Echo is frustrating to me, man. I was really looking forward to this show. Like, I was really, really excited for it. And I watched the show, and the first episode was like, that was actually quite good. Excuse me again. You get her fighting Daredevil. You get kind of a recap. You kind of set the tone. You're like, this sounds pretty good. This looks pretty good. And then you get episode 2, and you're like, okay, all right. Little bit of a misstep there. It felt like the episode was kind of a nothing burger, but okay. And then you watch the rest of the show, and you're like, okay, so this show is an incredible nothing burger. Nothing happens in the show. I think it's only like 5 episodes long, the shortest out of every series inside of the MCU. So you watch it, and you're like, okay, what was the point of that? There's no point in that. You even get the finale here where like it sets up to be really awesome. You got Kingpin, you got his goons there, you got big stakes. It's at this festival. It could have some great action set pieces, but instead it's just like, oh, this guy's got a bazooka, pew, pew, pew. And then they blow out all the bad guys, and then Echo's like, I got superpowers now, bitch, and then just like does the 11 from Stranger Things, and then stops Kingpin, and that's it for the finale. Cool. I will say the Daredevil fight was pretty awesome. The fight at the roller rink was pretty awesome as well, but 2 good fight sequences could not save this on a story level. And just like I watched, I'm like, okay, that was it. That was pretty disappointing. Where's it gonna? It's gonna go on the bad tier. Where would I rank this here? I think I'd rank it right there. I think this is how I would rank it so far. What If being at the top of bad, Echo being behind She-Hulk, but in front of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think that's a good ranking right there so far. For some reason, bad. There's been more bad out of anything said the entire MCU so far. Remember, put any questions in the comment section for me to answer. Probably do it once we're done with this here tier list. 2 things is super, 3 and great, 2 and good, 2 and mid, 4 and bad, 1 is abysmal dog shit. We talked about Agatha all along. I liked Agatha all along. I really did. I thought it was quite fun. I think the overall story about kind of going to these houses and going down the witch's road, that's like, okay, all right. I don't really care about the characters that much, but it's all right. There's some fun moments in here. But like every time I watch an episode, I'm like, this is actually not terrible like I think it's supposed to be, but it's actually quite good. And then we get to the finale, or around the finale, the episode before the finale, and it's like, okay, we get cool reveals. The kid she's with is Wanda's child. That's pretty cool. And then, like, you get the final episode, you have some really good emotions, see how she's such a bad, the evil witch. You see that. And it has some solid emotions in there. Aubrey Plaza, her fight sequence with Agatha is pretty fun. Aubrey Plaza is pretty fun in here as well. An actress that I do quite like inside the MCU. So overall, it's a show that I watched, and I'm like, okay, this is quite a bit of fun. There's some nuance here. There's some new things inside the MCU. It's like I thought it was going to be terrible. It's good. It's going on the good tier. I had enough fun with it. I will say it's not as memorable. This is a one show that I constantly forget exists inside the MCU, But I will say I liked it more than other people, and it's going good. I think it's going to go behind Secret Invasion, however. Shoot, we're to last year. This is just last year. Okay. We got 5 Marvel projects. We started with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I really liked Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I really did. I thought it was great. It's into a different world of Spider-Man. It's got the same origin story stuff. He gets bit by the spider. He fights villains. Uncle Ben passes, but I think Uncle Ben still alive in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? I don't think he was. Is Uncle Ben still alive in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Okay, so it says he's gone. Okay, I didn't remember, but you got the normal Spider-Man lore stuff, but it's interesting. You got him teaming up with Norman Osborn to kind of build his suit, teaming up with Harry as well. I think what they do with the villains is really interesting. You get Tombstone, that's kind of a character in the comics that you like don't like because of how bad he is, but then in the show, they flesh out his character. You care for his character. And when he goes down the path of evil, you don't want him to with Lonnie. And with the Scorpion, he's a really cool villain. It's just kind of a self-contained gang lord fight in the end, but it's really cool because Scorpion is a really cool villain. You feel the stakes. You see Spider-Man get the crap kicked out of him. It's just a really good Spider-Man story. If you like Spider-Man, you're going to like this show. I can't wait for season 2. I think the animation is cool. I think the villains are cool, and I like this world we're in. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was pretty great. It's going at the bottom of great. It's not as good as the live action stuff, but it goes in great. It's a really good Spider-Man show. Then we got Daredevil Born Again. Whew. I feel like this one is so frustrating. It should have every right to be on the super tier. The original Daredevil series is awesome. Season 3 is one of the best seasons of television of all time. Instead, I'm going in mid. I think that there's a lot of great things here. The action's pretty good. There's some stakes. Froggy's death is really emotional. Certain directors, I can't remember their names right now, directed one of the episodes of this, and it's like a phenomenal episode. Has really intense stakes, edge of your seat stuff. I like the way the show is shot. There's a lot of things that's like, okay, that's cool. It's Disney-fied Daredevil. That's not really Disney-fied. Like, I know that's kind of crazy, but like when you look at Daredevil, you think, oh, they're gonna totally do the Disney thing and tone it down. No, you get people getting their jaws ripped off in the finale, heads getting smashed, just as violent as the original show. But then you get the last episode, and you're like, okay, this is where stuff's gonna hit the wall, shit's gonna hit the fan, it's gonna be awesome. And what they do is like, Daredevil loses. He teams up with Karen, and he's like, we got to build a team. And it's like, the show ends with, we got to build a team to fight Kingpin. So throughout the entire show, we set up plot line after plot line after plot line after plot line. And the finale literally is, yep, well, you're not going to get them solved until season 2. In fact, I would put this on the bad tier if season 2 didn't come out in a month. Season 2 comes out in a month. I'm curious to see what they do. I'm going to go into that season with a ton of reservation, however, because I just watched this show and I'm like, that's really frustrating. Like, really frustrating, because this could be awesome. Instead, it's mid. It is going... I think I'll put it behind Moon Knight. I think I'll put Moon Knight at the top there. It'll go right there, but man, was it frustrating. Sorry. Just got a message. My friend put my head on Kobe Bryant, so edited that. Cool. We got 3 more to talk about. Ironheart. We get our second abysmal dog shit. Yay. It's worse than Miss Marvel. It's terrible. It's really bad. I didn't even finish it. Second MCU show that I didn't even finish because it sucks. It sucks so bad. I got halfway through the second to last episode. I'm like, I'm not finishing this bullshit. It's bad. It's really bad. It's abysmal dog shit. The whole show's premise is Ironheart, or Riri, needs money so she can build her Ironheart suit. So she joins a group of criminals that are going to go rage against the bad guys or whatever. And they need her for the Ironheart suit so she can use that Ironheart suit and commit crimes. So what she do? She uses the Ironheart suit to go commit crimes so she can make money so she can build an Ironheart suit. That's the plot that we're dealing with here. That is the story of this show. We're off to a hot start. Abysmal dog shit just there alone. The action isn't good. Riri Williams, who is great in Wakanda Forever, is just abysmal. She is just miserable to be around. She's not fun at all. There's not any good action. That's paced boring. We got the son of Obadiah Stane. Isn't that just absolutely awesome, right? No, because he's just kind of a whiny brat, and then he gets superpowers somewhere along the way there, and they fight. And after the fight, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty bad. I'm turning it off. Apparently, she meets up with Mephisto in the end, makes a deal with the devil. I don't care. I really don't care, because we're probably not going to see this character or Mephisto ever again in the MCU. Because that's what we do. This is the show that a dog bent over. They're like, it's Ironheart. Bam! Throws it on Disney+. It's bad. It is the worst MCU show. Marvel Zombies came before Wonder Man. Marvel Zombies. Now, I talked about What If and how I didn't really like What If. Excuse me again. The Marvel Zombies portion of things is the one example. I watched that episode a couple times. Like, I really liked that episode. And then we got a whole season of it. Don't think I would put it on great, because it is just kind of an experiment, kind of like, the characters are zombies. We're following these characters. I think the voice acting is pretty bad. I had a great time with it. It goes on good. It goes to the top of good. It goes right here. I love zombies. I love Marvel. Seeing all these Marvel characters get turned into zombies was awesome. It's violent. There's character deaths in here that I think are really emotional and really effective. Like I said, it's violent. You get blood, guts, all that. You're following characters that you love. I think Iman Vellani voiced Miss Marvel in there. She's pretty fun. She's not a good voice actress, but she's pretty fun in there. Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, is a really terrifying zombie. There's some really good action here with Thor fighting Wanda. I think that has some really good action in there. The animation is great. So just a sentence, you get Marvel characters, turn them into zombies, big gore, big action, just a lot of fun. 4-episode miniseries. It's not perfect, but man, did I just have a fantastic time with it, because it's something that I love, and it's really effective. And finally, our latest show that released last week that I just put out a review for yesterday, Wonder Man, is the best out of them all. It is the top. I loved Wonder Man. We got Ironheart. We got this piece of crap. Yeet! Oh, shoot. I just yeeted it into the great tier. No. Yeet's back in the dog shit. I watched Ironheart, and I was like, there's no care. They just pooped it out and threw it at Disney+. That's what they did. And, you're like, that's a terrible thing to do. I thought Wonder Man would be the same thing. This is a show with so much care put into it. You have the two characters, Simon and Trevor, that just have great chemistry. Their character arcs are so perfectly done. Yahya Abdul-Mateen and Ben Kingsley have great chemistry. Ben Kingsley is pretty funny inside of the show, but you love their relationship. It's a show deep diving into Hollywood that, as an actor, someone who acted in plays, not like Hollywood or whatever. If I was in Hollywood, I wouldn't be driving a 2012 Honda Civic. Anyways, as an actor, like there's some very intense sequences. The way like the directors just kind of can pull the rug out from under you. Is Simon gonna mess up this audition? Is he not gonna mess up the audition? It's funny. It's charming. The emotions are high in that final episode with what happens there. Very emotional. I will say the final sequence of the season, I was like, okay, all right, no, I'm not really the biggest fan of that. I felt like it was a little bit, just a little bit what's the word I'm thinking of? Kind of took away from the stakes of the season, but that's not enough to take this show down because it's emotional, it's funny, you care about the characters, and it's a show that puts so much care into it. And so it is my favorite MCU show. Also, the score is phenomenal. I didn't mention that in my review, but the score for Wonder Man is awesome. Like, it's really good. But here we go. The final ranking of all 20 MCU projects. Ironheart, Miss Marvel, the two and abysmal dog shit. Ironheart is terrible, no care. Miss Marvel should have been great, but it's terrible. Falcon and the Winter Soldier has a bunch of whiners and it's not interesting. Echo is a nothing burger. She-Hulk is interesting and then they ruin it in the finale. What If is a waste of potential. Werewolf by Night is an interesting idea but doesn't really work. Daredevil Born Again is good until the finale, and it just feels like a nothing burger. Moon Knight has 2 bad episodes. The rest of it is great. Agatha All Along is a pleasant surprise. Secret Invasion, a lot of people hate. I was compelled. Hawkeye has 2 great leads. Yelena's in there. Great action. Really enjoyed it. Marvel Zombies, Marvel characters, awesome. Your Friendly Neighborhood, Spider-Man, just a really good Spider-Man show. Loki Season 2, character-focused and really compelling and has great emotional depth. WandaVision, a really good arc for Wanda. Emotions are at its highest, and there is some horror themes in there, and just a really compelling mystery. Loki Season 1, we deep dive into the TVA, and it's awesome, and Kang's in there. Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special, we care about these characters. Having a fun adventure with the Guardians is awesome. X-Men 97 has the stakes, has the emotions, and you love these characters. And Wonder Man, a show deep diving into Hollywood with so much care for the characters. That is my official ranking right there. I did in the description put the link. You can go fill out your own tier list down below in the link. But there we go. Send in your questions and comments. I will be right back. Right back. I'm back. Any comments, questions? We're past an hour, so we'll probably wrap it up here before too long. Let's go on Twitter. Why not? Let's go on Twitter, see if there's anything I could talk about. You guys got any questions? Send them through. What is this?
Up the middle.
This could be the game right here for Mississippi State. Here comes the blitz. Fitzgerald gets walloped and sacked.
Boom. It's my Gators, baby. It's my Gators, baby. See if there's anything I could talk about. Doesn't seem like there's nothing to talk about. I'll give it a few more minutes if you guys got any comments, questions, concerns. And then I'll wrap it up for today's live stream. Anybody got any big weekend plans? I don't really. Obviously, it's Super Bowl Sunday, so I'm going to watch the Super Bowl on Sunday. College basketball tomorrow. Probably watch some college basketball. My Florida Gators play the Texas A&M Aggies. That should be a really fun game. But I will give it one more minute. We'll wrap it up for the night. I, again, appreciate everybody who watches, subscribes, likes, does all the above. I appreciate every single one of you. Reverse Lane, Jake, for being in here in the comment section. I appreciate all of that. And I think we're going to call it a day. Thank you to everybody who watched this live stream, my MCU Disney Plus shows and specials Tier Ranked Live. I'm going to have the January movies ranked coming up very soon. After the January movies ranked, well, you'll see what's coming next week. And with that said, subscribe.